why is the price the way it is? Why is the community sentiment down? A lot of different ways you could look at this. And one of the first thing I would say is, it is a complicated question. Beating the SEC was kind of this, I guess you could say it was, could you say it was priced in because didn't HEX pump a little bit after that? Not that it wasn't priced in, but it was just like, okay, this is kind of like one layer to pull back. One layer, one more battle, one more thing we need to get through before we can start operating, before the FUD goes away type of deal. SC is one thing, but we still had Interpol at the same time, which is just dumb. So hopefully that'll go away. I've talked about before all the different ways Interpol go away, all that stuff as well. But beating SEC was very underrated, but also very, how to say it, like the effects of that I think will be more long-term than short-term. I don't know why everyone was, a lot of people are like, oh, you should settle and do all these things. I was like, yeah, we should win. Like, you don't hire, and even Nuclear Herb's talking about, you don't hire that many lawyers to just settle. This is that we're going for the win. And we won fair and square. And a lot of people say, okay, all kinds of people, beat the SEC. No. Not a lot of people beat the SEC outright. The SEC may dismiss cases against them, but this is the judge dismissed the case. Even Ripple, XRP, reached a settlement. You got Coinbase. Did they drop the case against Coinbase? Maybe. Binance, all this stuff. Point me to another case where the SEC lost in court completely, because they did. Because of two reasons. One, no jurisdiction, and the other that keeps going under the radar, which was there's no case. There's they couldn't find any wrongdoing. I forget how it was phrased, but it was no, there's nothing to look at. There's they didn't find anything that they could go forward with. So they dismissed it. SEC didn't appeal. Again, court dismissed it. So this is, again, invaluable to long-term investors. And everyone nervous about a short-term, they could have already been all in too. So this is something that to point at for onboarding and stuff, in case it comes up. Yes, there was an SEC case. It got dismissed by the judge. And you could say that these products, HEX, PulseChain, PulseX, have some sort of legal clarity, whether it's actual or metaphorical or philosophical, I guess, that almost no other cryptocurrencies have. Went through the ringer, made it out the other side with victory. Amazing. So I think that's strength. That's persistence. That's not giving up. And I really like that. And I think that doesn't really, again, that's more of a long-term thing. And crypto is not rallying around not rallying around Richard because they don't like Richard for this reason or that reason or whatever it is. But the fact that he did that, I think it's going to pay dividends in the future for, when he does come back, or when we do get some kind of bull run, we start doing multiples, then we could say, hey, our founder beat the SEC. Did your founder beat the SEC? No, didn't happen. So I don't think that was supposed to have a long-term impact the way that it did. And again, I think it plays into why HEX is the way it is. It's another point of being able to onboard people. Nobody, if you're broke, it's very hard for you to buy crypto. The macro conditions that enable people to be interested in risk on assets and have the ability to actually purchase them with extra money has not existed for a long time. A lot of the run-ups and stuff we've seen for Bitcoin and Ethereum and all this stuff, where have they came from? Do you think they came from retail? Where's retail? Or have they came from institutions and strategic funds and all this stuff buying it up? So everyone wants the retail rally. And I especially think HEX is going to benefit from the retail rally But where is it? We haven't seen it. I hope to see it soon, but we haven't seen it. Unless you got Tom Lee setting up a HEX strategic reserve, which too much. They're telling me he hasn't done that yet. If he ever does that, then in this kind of environment, then that would make sense. The HEX would be a little bit better than it is right now as far as price wise. But it's low liquidity. It's just waiting for people to ape in. And it hasn't happened yet because the institutions aren't buying it as of now. And the retail aren't buying it as of now. So you could call this an accumulation phase, a great place to DCA. You could call all those things if you believe that price will go up a lot in the future, which of course a lot of people think it will. So there's that piece. And the other one is there's no big influencers like big crypto. There's no big crypto influencers who want to say nice things about HEX, because what benefit do they have? Why would they say nice things about HEX? Why wouldn't they say nice things about everything they're being paid to talk about, they're being sponsored by people are telling them to talk about whatever the new meme coin of the day is, or the new project that came out that has the VC backing and the partnerships and relations, like all this? Why would they talk about HEX? I'm not saying they won't ever talk about HEX again, but why wouldn't they ever say anything nice about HEX? Well, because saying bad things about HEX, they got plenty of people who like that. They'll get plenty of engagement from saying bad things or neutral things or whatever. What engagement would they get if they said, buy HEX, trust me? What would they get? They would alienate probably half of everyone following them, and half of those people who would be alienated would only not like it because one half of them would go be like, oh, I know HEX. You've already said that was a scam. Why would I buy it now? What's changed? So they'd be like, that's weird. And the other half of those people, of the half who were alienated, would go look up at a price chart and be like, why are you telling me to buy this thing that's been sideways or down for a while? Why would you tell it? Which one? Which one should I buy? Which one? Show me. So why would they? There's no reason for any big influencer to say anything nice about HEX. There's no referral program for it. There used to be, when it first launched for the first year or so. There's no one's paying them to. Who knows if people will pay them in the future to do that? I don't know. But currently, they're not being paid to talk about HEX. Why would they shield stuff that they don't have a bag of that they can go dump later with? Or why would they forget it? Let's say they have the best intentions possible. Let's say they really want to get people into good crypto. Why would they shill anything that they can't directly make dollars on? That ain't HEX. We don't play that game. That's not the game that's being played. We're playing an entirely different game. We're trying to get people into real DeFi, trying to get people into ecosystem where they can build and delay gratification and put their money, get their money off exchanges, and a place where they can, participate in PulseChain, all the protocol. We're playing a different game. We're not playing this retail, hey, here's a ticker, get in early, hope the VCs. We're not playing that game. So why would they promote HEX when there's nothing, until there's something for them to gain from it? If HEX starts getting green candles, you never know when some of them might wake up and be like, wow, I should buy some of this, and then tell people about it. Today is not that day. So that's another reason why HEX is the way it is as of now. Another piece is PulseChain hasn't taken off yet. When PulseChain takes off, what do you think people will be buying? They'll be buying a lot of the most popular tickers on PulseChain. What are some of the most popular tickers? The core coins. Of course, they need gas. They may want a piece of the casino type thing. They may want they may like to buy and burn with PulseX. They may speculate on ink. And they may want some sort of thing that may resemble more of a store of value at some point, where you can earn more of the token by burning and minting them back yourself over time for a certain amount with the principal and the yield called HEX. And there may be a bunch of other stuff they want to buy too, but the ones that have the most volume, the most liquidity, all those things that you look at on your standard crypto market cap site, all those things, they're going to be looking at that stuff and saying, oh, these look like winners to me. HEX is going to be right there, hopefully doing very, very well. And another piece, I mean, I guess I think the biggest piece is keep going back to is people, like we need people to know about a thing for them to buy it. We have a huge community. A lot of people, I imagine, have been DCAing. They've been exiting. They've been waiting. They've been holding. They've been staking. They've been keeping it liquid. They've been making decisions about their bags and what they want to do in the ecosystem. Everyone here, probably everyone listening, hopefully there's a few people who knew today, but most of you listening right now, you're already in, right? You've probably put a lot of the capital, a lot of the time, a lot of the energy that you've had into this product already. And you're waiting for an ROI. Maybe you're waiting for motivation to do more or buy more or otherwise. We need to onboard more than just us. And I do a lot of content for the community. I try to, I've got different things that I do that I try to do outreach and support different things that will help onboard and grow our brand. I love the marketing thing that's happening right now with the tablets. I think that's amazing. I think hopefully we'll start seeing some ROI come in from that. New people come in. We've already seen a lot of great posts and interactions and stuff like that. Those are the things that is going to build the next version of Hexco. The new people coming in that we need to educate and show how to use these products and take control of their money. And hopefully they'll buy it when it's really low. Hopefully we'll be onboarding so many more people when the price is low, like you could point to and say today that it is. If you believe it's going to go, 100x, 1000x higher, you could look at it today and be like, wow, if I think it's going to go that far and it's this far, then that looks undervalued. If onboard people at the lows, they can experience and do whatever they want with the coins they acquire at that point, when and if they go much higher. So I hope we onboard lots and lots of people, sub-penny HEX, and then it goes much higher. So we can give people the confidence, just as we got, for example, just as I got when I saw this thing launch. And it took some time. And when Richard first launched it, I wasn't that confident. I was like, Richard, literally, I was like trying to hedge myself. I'm like, Richard's, he's a smart guy, but he's never been a founder before. Like, how's this going to work? I wasn't like, I was just watching the experiment unfold itself. And yeah, that's probably the last time I'll ever doubt Richard Hart. I'm like, man, you blew HEX out of the water. Let's go PulseChain. And I think the plans, just by nature of it being PulseChain and being an L1 instead of our ERC20, are going to be much bigger and much more awesome in so many different ways. So onboarding, we're doing it. We're putting in effort. Things are getting built. New sites, new onboarding methods, new campaigns and communities, and all this stuff is happening. But it takes time, and we haven't grew enough for it to reflect in the price yet, or reflect in the sentiment yet, for example. So I think that's a few of the points that I want to make. And again, just going back to the ability for HEX to do great is it's up to the community. Again, I'm not waiting on Richard to make this place great. I hope that he helps, and I appreciate him doing what he can for the community, just as he used to live stream and do all this stuff before. But it really is up to us. So let's do it.